Frank Lucas, a name synonymous with crime in the United States, had a humble and challenging beginning. Born on the 9th of September 1930 in Grange, North Carolina, Lucas grew up in a time of racial segregation and economic hardship. His early life was marked by poverty, a common plight in the rural South during the Great Depression era. The Lucas family, like many African-American families at that time, struggled to make ends meet, working as sharecroppers in a region plagued by deep-seated racial inequalities. Lucas's early encounters with crime and influential figures began in his hometown. He witnessed his 12-year-old cousin murdered by the Ku Klux Klan, a traumatic event that profoundly impacted him. This tragedy, coupled with the harsh realities of his environment, played a pivotal role in shaping his worldview and future path. In search of better opportunities, Lucas migrated to Harlem, New York in the early 1950s. Harlem during this period was a hub for both cultural renaissance and criminal activities. It was here that Lucas's criminal career began to take shape. Initially involved in petty crimes, Lucas's keen observational skills and natural intelligence quickly drew the attention of local crime figures. His big break came when he connected with Ellsworth "Bumpy" Johnson, a notorious gangster and one of Harlem's most respected crime figures. Under Johnson's tutelage, Lucas learned the intricacies of the criminal underworld. Johnson's death in 1968 was a turning point for Lucas. He seized this opportunity to rise in the criminal ranks, establishing his own networks and connections. Lucas's entrepreneurial spirit and willingness to take risks led him to innovate in the drug trade. He established direct connections for heroin supply in Southeast Asia during the Vietnam War, bypassing traditional mafia-controlled channels. This bold move not only increased his profits exponentially, but also allowed him to sell purer products at lower prices, significantly expanding his influence in the drug trade and solidifying his position in the crime world. Frank Lucas's name became synonymous with the heroin trade in the United States during the 1960s and 70s, marking a significant chapter in the country's criminal history. His involvement in the heroin trade was both innovative and infamous, particularly due to his method of smuggling and the quality of the product he introduced to the streets. One of Lucas's most notorious strategies in the heroin trade was his direct connection with suppliers in Southeast Asia. During the height of the Vietnam War, he capitalized on the chaos and lack of regulation in the region to establish a unique smuggling channel. Lucas ingeniously used military planes and the coffins of American soldiers to transport heroin from the Golden Triangle, an opium-rich area where the borders of Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar converge, to the United States. This audacious method allowed him to bypass traditional mafia-controlled channels, significantly reducing costs and risks associated with transportation. The heroin Lucas brought to America was branded as Blue Magic, a name that became legendary on the streets. Blue Magic was known for its high purity and potency, which was significantly superior to other products available at the time. This high-quality heroin, often sold at a lower price than its competitors, quickly dominated the market. The introduction of Blue Magic had a profound impact on the drug landscape in the US, leading to a surge in addiction rates and associated social issues. It also sparked a fierce competition among drug dealers and attracted intense scrutiny from law enforcement agencies. Frank Lucas's ability to avoid law enforcement for a significant period of time was a testament to his cunning and strategic approach to the illegal drug trade. For years, Lucas operated with a level of discretion and intelligence that kept him off the radar of law enforcement agencies. He maintained a low profile, unlike many of his contemporaries who flaunted their wealth. Lucas was known for his businesslike approach to the drug trade, avoiding the common pitfalls of flashy lifestyles that often drew attention. Lucas's evasion of law enforcement was also aided by his method of operation. He established a trusted inner circle, often employing family members, which minimized the risk of infiltration by undercover agents or informants. Additionally, his innovative smuggling methods, including using military planes, allowed him to transport large quantities of heroin without detection for a significant period. However, the growing scale of Lucas's operations eventually attracted the attention of law enforcement agencies. The high purity of blue magic and its dominance in the drug market made it a target for federal and local authorities who were intensifying their efforts in the war against drugs. One of the key figures in law enforcement who pursued Lucas was Richie Roberts, a New Jersey detective. Roberts, known for his integrity and dogged investigative skills, led a special task force dedicated to breaking down heroin rings in Newark and New York City. His team's relentless efforts in gathering intelligence and conducting surveillance gradually began to unveil the extent of Lucas's empire. Frank Lucas's trial was a significant event in the legal history of the United States, marking a high-profile case against a major drug lord. Lucas faced numerous charges, primarily for his involvement in drug trafficking and other related criminal activities. The trial was a complex affair, given the extensive nature of his criminal network and the severity of the charges against him. During the legal proceedings, Lucas was found guilty on several charges. The outcome of the trial led to Lucas receiving a sentence of 70 years in prison. The sentence reflected the gravity of his crimes, particularly his role in the large-scale distribution of heroin in the United States. However, Lucas's time in prison took an unexpected turn. In an effort to reduce his sentence, Lucas became an informant, cooperating with federal authorities. He provided valuable information on his connections in the drug world, including corrupt officials and other drug traffickers. This cooperation was instrumental in leading to arrest and conviction of numerous individuals involved in drug trafficking and corruption. Lucas's cooperation with authorities significantly reduced his prison sentence. After serving several years, he was released from prison in the early 1980s. Lucas's post-release life was markedly different from his days as a drug lord. He lived a relatively quiet life, a stark contrast to the flamboyance and notoriety of his past. This period of his life was marked by attempts to reintegrate into society, staying away from the criminal activities that once defined his existence. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the life of Frank Lucas. If you found this video enlightening and want to learn more about similar figures and events in criminal history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more content. Until next time.